Hello there, Aries, and welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time here with me. If you like what you see, please click on that thumbs up, leave a comment, and hit the subscribe button to make sure notifications are turned on. Okay, so for today's reading, this is about messages from either an ancestor or possibly a departed loved one that you were close to in this lifetime. I will attempt to get a basic description of this person by picking an archetype from this deck and speaking about the characteristics that either you can relate to with a departed loved one or just a general representation of an ancestor that's coming through and has something to say to you. All right, Spirit, please bring forth an ancestor or departed loved one for Aries who wants to speak about something important, urgent, or just simply has something that needs to be said to Aries. All right, we have the Exorcist. Freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. That's the light attribute. The shadow attribute is fear of facing your own demons. Okay, so this particular ancestor feels like they were a strong religious type of person, but not just religious, but a very spiritual person. There is a difference between the two words, but I feel like this person had a strong, possibly like Catholic background or maybe a Christian background. But that's not to say that they weren't spiritual. Sometimes religion is... being religious doesn't... How do I want to say this? Sometimes people who are religious sometimes kind of lack the spiritual aspect and just kind of, this is what is right, this is what is wrong, this is how you do this, you know, it just follows the rules. But this person to me feels like they didn't just follow the rules, they thought for themselves, they came up with their own morals and followed their own guidelines versus just following the guidelines set out by a religion or other people or a group. Now, the shadow attribute is also standing out to me. I feel like this is more of a message for you, the fear of facing your own demons. So there's something that this ancestor sees, can relate to. I feel like that's why they might have been more on the religious and or spiritual side, because there were some things about themselves that they didn't want to look at, and so they turned to religion for answers. They turned to spirituality for answers. And I feel like this particular ancestor, because this ancestor is coming through and can connect with you, is urging the same kind of thing. I think that this ancestor doesn't want to see you go through some of the same things that they went through, and so that's why they're coming through today. But let's find out more. All right, ancestor or departed loved one, please tell me about what it is you want to talk about with Aries, with your descendant. What would you like to talk about, ancestor? All right, we have Magic Guardian. Unlock the magic within. And Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. Okay, yes. So that is an accurate description when I said I feel like the message that they want to convey to you, facing your own demons. Hunter, track down your fears and desires. So it's not just about demons. Sometimes we are afraid of our own desires, right? So this ancestor is definitely talking about facing, looking at, stop denying, stop turning away, stop running, stop hiding, and face yourself entirely, light and dark, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, and unite the two, which unlocks the magic within. That is how you find the magic within. That's how you become settled within your own self, you know, be safe in your own skin because you've tracked down your fears, you've tracked down your desires, you've been able to bring that balance within yourself. And in that respect, you'll feel whole, complete, able to, and capable of things maybe you didn't think you were before because you were afraid of facing these aspects of yourself. And let's get some more information. What needs to be processed, or let's get some clarification, or what to do about this, or how to go about facing your demons, facing your fears and your desires, hunting them, tracking them down. What else, great ancestor or departed loved one, would you like to tell Aries? We have solar plexus chakra and wealth and abundance. Okay, so the solar plexus chakra has to do with personal will. And I feel like this definitely connects with this, tracking down your own fears. It's your own will to face your demons. And that is where you can find some strength, courage, confidence. So I feel like this ancestor or departed loved one wants you to look into that spiritual aspect of chakras. If you don't know anything about chakras, look it up. There are amazing meditations and music to listen to focused on certain chakras, and you can definitely look this up and get more information. And wealth and abundance. So I feel like this ancestor or this departed loved one is saying, not only do you unlock the magic within, there's an abundance within self and within your emotions and your comfort and that, but there also could be that'd be a key to unlock the natural way of gaining abundance in a wealthy sort of way, in a money sort of way, or property, or valuables, something along those lines. Or maybe there's something in the family that's been valuable, that's been handed down to you, and they are wanting to point your attention in that direction. There's something, maybe there's a fine piece of jewelry that was passed down to you. Maybe there was some kind of collectible or something that is from this particular ancestor or departed loved one. And I feel like they want you to look at that, hold it, maybe even meditate with it. But there's like maybe an essence or a sense of them within that particular item, and maybe carry it around with you if it's something small, like maybe let's say it's a semi-precious stone or something, even like a pearl, or anything along those lines. Maybe it was an old-fashioned key, or some kind of like spoon set, and there's a particular spoon, or anything, any of those weird, odd, different things. You don't necessarily have to carry a spoon around with you, but look at it, hold it, maybe meditate with it, and you can get a sense of this ancestor or departed loved one. There's some energy or leftover residue, and I feel like that this ancestor is pointing to that. So if you don't have something that was passed down to you, maybe your mother does, maybe an aunt does, maybe a sibling got something that maybe you thought was nothing, and now you want to kind of revisit what this particular item is. Maybe it's a picture, anything. It could be a picture, and there's some kind of an abundance there, not only just of them or of their energy, but somehow there's money involved with it too. So it's something valuable, not just energetically, but I do feel like there's something valuable in the physical realm. All right. And for whatever reason, that can help you focus, or that can help you, give you the courage or the strength to face these demons, or face these fears, and again, unlock all the magic within that you have, that this ancestor or loved one sees in you, that I feel like don't necessarily know about and or trust or see even. So yeah, let's see what are the hidden influences here. What's not being seen or can't be seen, or any obstacles in the way. Tell me more about these things, ancestor or departed loved one. What else can you tell me for Aries? All right, we have the Three of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Fool, and Knight of Wands. Okay, so what I initially got with this ancestor had their heart broken. There was some kind of, I think that this particular ancestor or loved one was left behind. I think their spouse and or soulmate, whatever, left before they did, maybe died, or something happened to them, and it left them heartbroken. And they don't want to see this happening to you because for some reason, whatever happened in their lifetime, it felt like it was foolish to them, and they don't want to see that kind of foolishness or that feeling for you. They don't want you to have that kind of feeling. So I feel like part of your fears, and this makes sense, your fears and desires is finding that special someone. So there's a part of you, and this ancestor or departed loved one is seeing that and acknowledging that, yeah, I mean, we all want to have that special someone, right? But at the same time, I feel like you're fiercely independent and you don't want that. And actually, you're afraid of that. Maybe there's a fear of being tied down, a fear of heartbreak, a fear of having freedoms taken away and not being able to be curious, or to kind of just, with the Fool and the Page of Pentacles, I feel like you're kind of like in this perpetual state of curiosity, of just traveling around your life, traveling around the world with not much care, because you don't have I don't mean this in a negative way, but you just have a carefree type of way of living, feeling, thinking, believing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some of this is out of fear of being tied down to someone else, or even if this is just being tied down to some part of other aspect of yourself that you don't necessarily like. I don't think this has to do with anyone particular in mind that you want to be with. If it does, it's time to look at the fears that you have around that, and don't be foolish about either getting into a relationship without knowing or understanding what's going on with you, and or leaving or not letting a relationship happen because of the fears of, because you think that this means being tied down or being not free. There's a sense of, there's a worry about heartbreak, but there's a freedom in you. There's a carefree, there's an adventurous aspect of yourself that I feel like you feel that you would lose if you were to find that someone special. And this ancestor or departed loved one is here acknowledging all of that. But it really ends up being what you make of it. So if you let your fears rule you, then this finding the magic within, finding all the wealth and abundance and courage and strength and everything to be, like I said, more comfortable in your own skin, and like freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. And that's part of that being foolish. I feel like sometimes maybe you're self-sabotaging, maybe sabotaging of other relationships because you're just so afraid of losing that independence. And with this Knight of Wands too, kind of like that's an impulsive energy that you can just rush in and do what needs to be done, not thinking about what, like putting a plan for, okay, I'm going to do this, and this is, it's the pre-thinking of how you're going to go about it. Whereas, and then there's nothing wrong with this part of you. Sometimes it's really great to be impulsive because then you get spontaneity, you get to experience things that you normally wouldn't have if you held back. But I think this has to do with a lot of balancing, like I said, light and dark, masculine and feminine, positive, negative. So with relationship with yourself, obviously that needs to be balanced first before a relationship with someone else. And acknowledging your own impulsivity, acknowledging your own possibly self-sabotage or destructive impulses, because impulses can be positive too. So it's just a matter of facing, looking at it, admitting that that is something that happens to you, for you, that sometimes you get yourself into some trouble or into some heat because you did something, said something without thinking, it affected someone else. And I think that has to do with where this is coming from, because in a sense, when it comes to other people, you have to kind of keep things, you have to have your filter on, right? And maybe you believe that there isn't someone out there that you can just be completely open with. Maybe that's part of the fears too. But that's all work for you. And this ancestor is here, or departed loved one, to support you, to help you, to show you, to bring you into your highest, best functioning self. And not just surviving, but living, right? Thriving. Going to get you to that point where you're just in that blissful state. All right, let's get some final messages or advice from this ancestor or departed loved one. All right, ancestor, what final words would you like to say to Aries? What else do they need to know? All right, we have honor Gaia. Okay. And time to reflect. Okay, yeah. That's what I was saying. It's time to look within, to look at what your behaviors are, what your beliefs are, what's holding you back, your fears, your desires. It's all along the same lines. And to honor Gaia, I see that as honor the divine feminine. Not just honor Gaia as in, you know, recycle, do things that help the earth, but the more feminine aspect of life. So the more receptive, more internal, more nurturing, mothering aspects of yourself. Honor those things, nurture those aspects while you are facing these fears, while you're taking that time to reflect and really look at your own self and your own desires and fears and how they play into how you are impulsive. That's all tied to each other too, because there's times where I'm sure you feel like you act on something, you're like, I have no idea why I just did this or why I feel this way. It's all tied together and tied in, but definitely work on your solar plexus chakra too. And like I said, look up information about that. I think you could gain a lot of knowledge, and especially being this is what this ancestor suggests to do, is that, and then whatever item that they pass down to you, there's something about that too. All right, Aries, I think that's everything I see. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And may the cosmos bless you with love and light. Namaste.